The sinking of the RMS Titanic remains to this day one of the most talked about disasters of the 20th century. Here are some things you probably didn't know about it. Pictured here is the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. The wreck lies approximately 370 miles from here. The ship broke in two, and the gap between the bow and the stern is about 2,000 feet in the seabed. The remains of the Titanic will eventually be eaten away by a rust-eating bacteria. This is the iceberg that supposedly struck the Titanic. It was speculated to have been anywhere from 50 to 100 feet above water. The entire iceberg is believed to have been between 200 and 400 feet long. It was a clear and moonless night when she struck, so it was hard for the crew to see. The lifeboats had a capacity of 65 people each. Over 50% of the people on board could have survived if all of the space available on the lifeboats were used. Milton Hershey, the man who invented the famed Hershey's milk chocolate bar, was supposed to be on the Titanic. He wrote a $300 check to reserve his and his wife's stateroom on the luxurious liner, but business took priority. His wife's deteriorating health was also another reason they didn't board the ill-fated ship. Unbelievably, only 3 of Titanic's 4 funnels worked. The ship's 4 funnels were somewhat for show. Only 3 of the funnels ousted soot. The other was simply used for ventilation purposes and added a certain majestic aesthetic to the ship. The chief baker, Charles Juffin, reportedly treaded water for 2 hours before he was rescued. He claimed the large amounts of whiskey he had consumed before the ship sank had kept his body warm enough to sustain the freezing water. The ship burned an estimated 825 tons of coal per day. The ship was far from a light craft, weighing some 46,000 tons. This behemoth of a vessel burned a proclaimed 825 tons of coal per day in 159 furnaces that heated 29 boilers. The liner was pretty expensive to make. The giant ship cost $7.5 million to build in the early 20th century, which would be equivalent to $183.4 million today. It was written that 2 workers died during construction of the ship, but there might have been others who were killed. Samuel Joseph Scott, 15, fell from a ladder and fatally fractured his skull. James Dobbins was squashed by timber that fell while transporting the Titanic from the shipyard to the dock where it launched. The giant ship took 26 months to build. Construction crews used 3 million rivets to build the 26,000-ton hull, a combination of iron and steel. The Titanic's last lunch menu sold for tens of thousands of dollars. On September 30, 2015, a private collector bought the Titanic's last first-class lunch menu in an online auction for $88,000. The collector paid $8,000 more than the initial maximum price.